it. Yes, perfectly. Thank you and welcome everyone to this webinar about EUCEDIC trainings. I'm very happy to co-host tonight this webinar. So I am Mathieu Arquier from École des Ponts in Paris, France, and I am the academic director of the Executive Master. And along with tonight, we have the enthusiastic Antía Fernández, which wears several hats. She's an alumni of the master from the first cohort 2 years ago. She will be a new teacher for next edition in the master. And she is also capstone tutor during last edition. So Antía, welcome tonight. And if you want to say a few words about yourself quickly.
No, I think it's a good description. I like these multiple hats. And just to add, well, I currently work as a consultant in digital twins and digital transformation at Arup. So I'm happy that I could apply many of the knowledge I got during the master. So thank you for
perfect.
Mathieu.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And I think you have a perfect background to help and to co-host with me, to help explain and answer some questions, maybe to some learners or applicants curious about the trainings. So about tonight, we have this webinar about specific about EUCEDIC training. So it will be about 1 hour, less, but we'll see. It will be recorded and it will be posted later on LinkedIn and on our YouTube page for people who can't watch it live. So feel free, by the way, as I said, it will be a presentation about the master and different trainings. Feel free to intervene whenever you want. I think you have like some kind of button to interact. If there is a specific question you want to ask at a specific moment related to a specific topic, we can have this discussion right here. It's interactive and it will be more lively than just me talking and talking and talking. But I'm sure Antía will stop me if I talk too much.
Yeah, same.
So to dive in right to the webinar, just a quick background about the Digital Twin project, which is a European Union project funded 4 years ago to create, so first an executive master and then a center of excellence, which now have as a name, it's called EUCEDIC, as you can see in a small font here. And the main idea is to develop training on the application of digital technologies to the built environment and infrastructures, and to facilitate the digital transformation of the sector. And this project, it's based on a consortium which bring academy and innovation with 3 main famous civil engineering universities, UPM, University Polytechnique de Madrid in Spain, École des Ponts in Paris, and BME in Budapest, Hungary. And all these 3 major universities are members of the ELISA Alliance, which is a bigger alliance of different universities across Europe. And thanks to, along with the 3 main partners, we do have collaboration with Bucharest AI Research Center at UPB University at Bucharest, and different SMEs to still be with a connection with the field and practical use cases. For instance, Nomon, Tyrese, and Altametris. And it's a transsectorial project. It's not related only on buildings. It is on infrastructures, bridges, buildings, mobility, energy. All the topics where we are very good, if we can say, with the 3 universities of UPM in PC and BME. So before entering directly to the master, I think a good question I want to ask Antía, because she has all these different hats about the I could say that the need of this kind of trainings in the sector about digital twin, because digital twin is a very generic word now. It can mean very different things. And as you are now working on digital twin at Arup, what are your insights after the master, and what you see the fields and the professional aspect on the sector of digitalization. If you want to share your thoughts with us.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, for me, digital twin, the concept of digital twin and the definition of what is a digital twin, it's, well, there are many different approaches to that one. But in the end, from an industry perspective and from my client experience, in the end, the important thing about digital twins is that it's more of an umbrella term that covers the full digitalization of the life cycle of the infrastructures and the cities. So it's not only just software product, it's not a 3D model, it's more of a, let's say I would define it as a framework of how you capture data, of how you structure from a technical perspective, from a semantic perspective, all the data that is captured and that is used for a specific purpose. And also it's about how you develop these algorithms, how you implement AI models that produces some kind of inputs that inform real decisions for clients who are managing infrastructure, who are managing cities. So that, for me, that pipeline is the value of the digital twins. And those digital twins, all the framework of the digital twins, which is part of what the masters will touch, is what it gives coherence to this whole pipeline.
Yeah.
And for me, that is the value, basically. And you can call it digital twins. Probably in some years' time, it will have different approaches. But for me, that is the real
it's
value.
more about the collaboration and
the collaboration
exchange of data between different people. It's not just a tool, of course, because nowadays we can see like digital twins maybe have some positive aspect and negative, sometimes communication about this term of digital twins. But it's mainly, so that actually it's what we teach right at the beginning of the master about this kind of thing, but beware of the term digital twins. It means plenty of things, and at the same time, it means nothing for some people. So it's more about like collaboration between different technologies and different data and how you collaborate. Because I think you do some digital twins now in Madrid, right? But you don't do it alone. You have to collaborate.
Definitely not. Definitely not. We work a full team, and it's not only a team of who is defining, who is developing, who is implementing or deploying these digital twins, which is a big multidisciplinary teams, from domain teams that define the needs of the infrastructures of the cities, and also digital teams, developers, consultants, designers, etc. But also from the client perspective, it's super important to also engage very deeply within this creation. So in the end, the digital twin solves some kind of problem, gives some kind of value, and that is what you define with the client. So definitely, I mean, working with different stakeholders is the key part of it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and so that's that's specifically what we try to address during the master. Thank you for sharing your feeling and your thoughts. So about EUCEDIC training specifically, and what we are going to discuss tonight. So after, like as I said, it was a European project, and the European project was here to start and to launch several years and to help us to create all of these new trainings. But now, after 4 years now, we are finalizing right now the third cohort of the executive master. So Antía here was in the first cohort 2 years ago. So as the master is 1 year, we are finalizing right now the third cohort, and we are opening the fourth cohort and fourth edition of the executive master in September. So we are going to discuss about this master, as you can see, about this calendar. So it is very just a simplified calendar. And it's an executive master, as we can see, of 60 CTS of 1 year long, from September 26 to September 27. But in parallel, we have new tracks, and we will discuss also about them and why we have developed these new tracks in parallel of the executive master. And 2 new tracks mainly, let's say middle one, a diploma of specialization of 30 ECTS, and an expert degree of only 15 ECTS. And you can see they are in parallel of the executive master. And we will start in parallel with the expert degree in September until December, and then the diploma at the spring of next edition. So we will discuss exactly all these trainings tonight, and we will start with the Executive Master, which is the first line here, which is what we call the flagship of EUCEDIC training. So about this master, so as we said, why do we develop this master, as Antía said, and it's we need to cover a gap in new technologies, specifically for architects and civil engineers. Because even myself, when I was at the civil engineering school, I wasn't trained to use all of these new tools and new digitalization. So there is a gap and a train to catch on. That's why we want we develop this master exactly for this kind of purpose. And we address mainly both young professionals of the built environment, so civil engineers, architects, industrials, mechanical engineers, but also professionals with wider experience. And Antía, you can say in your cohort, in the first cohort, how do you say that, like the spread of age in your cohort from Salichan. I think Salichan was the youngest one.
Yeah, very recent gathered, yeah.
And I think that, so the youngest one was maybe 20, how old was it? 25 at the time?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. And the oldest maybe was, I don't remember for sure, but maybe more than 40 years old.
Yeah, I know, 50 or more than 50, yeah.
Yeah, even last year we had like from 25 years old to 54 years old. And different, as I said, different sectors, from buildings, railways, highways, bridges. And so it's a very mixed, diverse, global from different countries also.
Very diverse nationalities, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's very worldwide. And so that's why we wanted to address this problem of a gap of training in new generation and even old generation, and to all kind of sectors related to the built environment. And when, as I said, and the fourth edition starts on the 4th September 2026, and admissions are already open on the Digitwin webpage, of course. So just briefly, this is an executive, as we have said, it targets professionals in built environment and in structured, as you will see, if you don't know yet, to conciliate with work life. And that's very specific to this executive master. It is blended with online evening session by Zoom, mainly from Monday to Wednesday, to 6 to 7 to 8:30 p.m. Depending on the Central Europe time zone. Sometimes it's very seldom, but we might have some classes on Thursdays, just to help with the calendar, because as you might imagine, it can be complicated. So some Thursdays we have some classes, but it's very, very seldom. And in parallel of all these online classes, we have 3 on-site meetings in Madrid, Paris, and Budapest, which are kind of the climax of the executive master. And I think, Antía, I see you smile about the on-site events.
Yeah, those are the events. Where you also network, where you also get to know the people. So those are key dates.
Casual chat and whatever. And we go to a restaurant and some bars. It's very to make more connection, collaboration. Which is a point very important, and specifically because we're going to talk with the other trainings about the joint diploma. For the executive master, it's very official. It's 1 year long, 60 CTS. So at the end, you have a joint diploma, which is a diploma, a big, nice sheet of paper. And it is a joint one because it's 3 signatures on the same diploma. It's not double or triple diploma. It's not 3 different diploma of the different schools. It's the same diploma signed by the 3 different schools, and which is kind of unique, very rare now in Europe. And it is recognized, so that depends on the country. It is recognized internally at the institutional level in France and Spain, or national level in Hungary. As we can discuss until with Antía about all the courses, but we have an approach which is project-based, a concrete one. Of course, you have some theory at some point. It's obvious and it's important. But the main aspect at the end is to step by step have an approach and use case approach, thanks to all the mentors we have and the industrial partners we have. So as I said, it's a 1-year program from September to September. The faculty is a combination of different professors and experts from academia and industrial partners and Antía right now, and even with alumni in the faculty. So I'm sure you're thrilled to join the faculty member team now, Antía.
I am especially, it's a challenge and also a honor to now join you and to work.
Yeah, I think you have the perfect background and we're very happy. So Antía will be teaching validation and usage of digital twins. And it starts in September. And I mean, you can see we have like very, if you ever can have even a little fun during the classes, it would be perfect to facilitate. And as I said, and it's global. So that's also another aspect, very, very important. So obviously it's fully taught in English and you have like comrades in the cohort from all around all other continents. We had people coming from United States, South America, Africa, Asia, even last year, someone from New Zealand. So it's very global, which is diverse. And it's a mix of different cultures, even during when you work on a different project. And the main aspect, as we said, and which brings back to what we said at the beginning, digital twins about collaboration. So we need to encourage networking and to work as a team. And even like in all of the classes, we try to force this kind of collaboration and mainly doing the capstone project. But Antía will talk about the capstone in a bit. So this is all the main features of the master. So regarding target students, there is no restriction for the candidates. The only thing you have to have in mind is we have synchronous Zoom session online from Monday to Wednesday, as I said, based on Central Europe time zone. So that means depending on where you are, when you are living, you have to adapt the time zone and depending on if you're working or not. And the other aspect is for the event, the on-site event, on-site in Paris, Madrid and Budapest. That means you have to find a way to travel for 3 times. Or at least twice. It's if you can't make it once, it's okay. So that's how you have to anticipate these kind of things to be able to travel to Paris or Budapest along the year. And we will of course give you and help you, assist you for all the visa application and all the assistance needed for this kind of travel in advance. So as I said, we target civil and mechanical engineer, architect, and all related professional in the build environment. If you are working on the company already, but it is designed because we have online evening classes, and the main aspect is to develop talent to lead digital teams in the end and to collaborate, as Antía is doing in Arup right now. At least,
sorry, because I just didn't catch that so well. So the classes are going to be from Monday to Wednesday at what hour?
Yeah, exactly. So it is from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Central European Time, CET.
And they are always must be attended, or?
So I mean, the basic rule is you have to attend, of course. It's synchronous. But of course, we totally understand that from time to time, you can skip a class, of course, and all of them are recorded. So you have access on the Moodle page to all the recordings of the previous classes. So if you miss one, you can anticipate and send an email in advance to the teachers, I can't make it tonight. And you can catch up with the class during the following days or during the weekend when it suits you. So it's this way is a way to adapt with, because we totally understand that you have a work life, you have a private life, and you have to adapt and to add this master life, which can be challenging. And we can discuss about this challenge. But yeah, so that's the main aspect. Synchronous Zoom class from Monday to Wednesday, Central European Time. And if you miss a class, but you can catch up thanks to all the recording.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Feel free to ask and to interrupt me whenever you want. that's the main aspect of this webinar, because if I the only one to talk, it will be a bit boring at some point, I guess. So as I said, yes. So either like we focus for people. The main aspect is to have at least, let's say, it's better if you have at least some experience in a company, or professional experience of at least like 1 to 3 years, or in totally opposite. And if you have, like, as I said, and we have people older than 50 years old with like 30 years of experience, and it's a good match when you can mix this kind of diverse background. And the specific aspect, as I said, I want to develop and to train what we call engineers of the futures, so to lead digital transformation with different aspects. There are a lot of different technologies, and we will quickly, I will do it fast and to list different bricks. The main thing is it's not, you won't be an expert in all these different technologies. It's impossible to be an expert in machine learning, big data, BIM, IoT, semantic, Python. I mean, in 1 year with all the things, it's impossible to be an expert in all these things. So the master is designed to bring you from a basic level even without a level to a minimum level to understand how all these bricks interact between themselves. So that's why you don't need a lot of science of coding skills or BIM skills right away. We have elective courses you will see, and you can adapt your path depending regarding your background. So if you are an expert in BIM, but you don't select the introduction to BIM course, of course. But there is an advanced BIM course. And the same if you are very good at coding, but you don't select the coding, and etc., etc. So this is a way to adapt depending on your background, and you can select all the courses as you want. And you can see, I mean, the courses never overlap. So you are totally free to select the courses you want, but I will talk about that later. So this is a generic pictures of the main calendar of the masters from September 26 to September 27. And so we start with an opening ceremony, so without anything, just to get to know each other at the beginning of September on the 4th. And then you have what we call all the courses. So the courses are the basic skills, the core skills, and the applied courses. And all of them is, if you adapt all the ECTS is 42 ECTS, so the 2/3 of the master. So the courses start in September and they finish at the end of June, beginning of July. And in parallel, you will have the on-site event and the CAPS. So we will review basic skill, core skill, and applied courses just after this slide. And what is important is all the basic skills are elective, so you will see that after that. But we have 3 core skills, and Antía will be teaching one of them, which are mandatory for everyone. It's a good thing to have the common basics for all the cohort. And also, it's very good because it creates the first cohesion between yourselves. Between all these courses are mandatory, so that means you are all registered in those courses. In parallel, some basic skills, maybe we'll have like, I don't know, 7, 8 students, some 20, that depends. But with the core skills, it's about digital twins, of course, and not only. We'll see that in a bit. But it's a way to create a cohesion, and that's why we start right away with them before the basic skills, and to create a common ground between all of us, and also with between the cohort and also with the teachers, to get familiar with the teachers. And you have the first 2 weeks will be about the core skills, and also to give you the big picture and to not dive directly into all these little bricks I mentioned. It's a way to have a big picture about digitalization, and to start with, okay, digital twin there is not a clear, easy definition of digital twins right away, and to introduce what you will see during the year. So that's why I wanted this picture to introduce this kind of introduction in September with the core skills. And then you alternate mainly with basic skills, sometimes go back to core skills, basic skill, etc. along the year. And as you can see, the applied courses start end of the academic year at the spring 2027. When you see some holes, it's mainly because of holidays, because we think about holidays. So we think about you and to have some breaks from time to time. And I think Antía is jealous because during the first edition, there was no Easter holidays, I remember. So now we added Easter holidays. And also for the faculty team, it's good to have some holiday. So as you can see, and in parallel for the main dates, as you can see, we have the 3 on-site events. The first one around mid-November, second one in February, and the last one in September. And it is linked with the capstone project, and we'll discuss about that later, because we start the capstone project maybe a little bit before the first event, and we find the teams, different projects, the mentors and tutors to help you, and you will work in parallel of your master life along the year. So this is the main general calendar of the master. So now I want to dive in a little bit more on the basic skill, core skill, and applied courses. So if there is a chat, I have to maybe to. I think I can't find the date. Let me check. So it's not. We are finalizing a nice and easy, understandable calendar, which is not finalized. But the first on-site in November is likely to be held on the 19th and 20th of November. But we still need to finalize and especially the site. It's not yet
19 and 20.
Yeah, of November.
So it's just 2 days, not a week.
It's a Thursday and Friday, and sometimes we have on Saturday morning. We can have like just to enjoy the city basically, and to take advantage in being in Madrid, Paris, and Budapest to enjoy. Yeah, Juliana, you have a question?
No, I was just going to ask about the cities, if the on-site classes were going to be administrated in the 3 cities, or is like the 3 classes in Paris, the 3 classes in Budapest, or the 3 classes in Madrid, all at the same time. Well, I got it. Is one in each?
Yeah. No, yeah. It's only 2 days or 3 days, so it's the first event only in the city. The second event will be only in another city, where because we can't travel so fast in the 3 cities in 2 days, it will be very difficult.
No, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. No, you're welcome. Thank you for asking question. So let me dive into the basic skills. So as we say, it's 27 cities, so there are a lot of information, and you can find all of that on our website, of course. But the point is, you have 3 different blocks, but it's just to give a theme and the topic. What is important is you can see you have 12 different courses, and actually you have to select 9 out of 12. That's all. And you can select whatever you want, because they are never overlap. That's an advantage. So you are free depending on your background. As I said, if you know about BIM and GIS, but you don't select BIM and GIS, and you select other classes. So you still need to select at least 9 courses out of these 12. And as I said, then we have different aspects, and all these different bricks are kind of independent at the beginning of the year. But thanks to the core skills and the capstone, you are step by step joining all these kind of bricks. And it's a good, this master that's a good advantage, because you have in the same master, you can learn about BIM, you can learn about Python, you can learn about IoT, SQL, big data, machine learning. Is all these different technologies, and it's difficult to find a master with all these different aspects. You can find a master only on machine learning if you want, but it will be very difficult, and theory. It will be mainly about theory of machine learning, or data about big data or data science. But it's very rare to find this kind of collection of different bricks in the same master. And as you can see, so we distributed the the lead of different aspects in all the partners along the master. Sometimes it's UPM in Madrid, the teacher, the leader of the course, or BME, or NPC, or whatever. So this is a very basic skills. And as I said previously, from basically from October to mainly April, mid-April. So what is important?
It's important to highlight that all of these, the sense of them is that they are all foundation technologies to develop any kind of digital twin. So I think, it also helps everybody to level up, to be able to be more or less on the same level, because students have very diverse backgrounds. So some of them are experts on IoT. Some of them come from the BIM world or BIM background. Some of them have other more expertise on different environments. So I think it helps everyone to be more or less on the same level.
On the same level, as the same thing. Yeah, exactly.
To be able to develop something relevant. Yeah.
And that's why I thought that we want to have this kind of common level and to bring different people. For the capstone, for instance, it's very nice when you have different background with someone very good in, I don't know, coding, another one and modeling. And we bring all these kind of skills in the same team for a capstone project. Yeah. But it's good that all of them have the same language, basic language in all the topics, at least. It's kind of, but that's a kind of idea. So as I said, so that's for the basic skills. And we start actually the year, we start with what we call core skills, to really to set the background of digitalization and digital twins, and to really to have an holistic and systemic point of view right away at the start of the academic year. Because if you start diving directly into coding and BIM, you are doing your classes and your assignments, but you don't see the big picture. So that's why we wanted these core skills. So, and also we make them mandatory to create some kind of cohesion. So, and as I said, validation and operation will be taught by Antía starting in September. So it's very important. It's for this big picture, the systemic, holistic point of view, and to create a cohesion between yourself and also with the teachers, to engage with the teachers, because the teachers with the faces, you will see the same during the on-site events, and you will always see the same faces from time to time. So it's nice to have also this kind of collaboration between the learners, students, but we prefer to say learners, and the faculty. And then, as I said, I didn't say so. These courses are mandatory. There are 3 of them from Monday to Wednesday, mainly, and 3 CTS each. So this is the mandatory. There is no electivity here. But for the applied courses, so we have 3 different specializations at the end of the year. One in transport mobility, another one in energy and water management, and another one in urban design and building management. And until now, they were in parallel. So that means it was a bit difficult sometimes when you wanted to select one courses in a specialization and another one in a specialization. So it was a bit tricky. So for next edition, we made them totally separate, independent. So you are free to select 3 courses whenever you want to reach 6 ECTS. And you can focus only on a specialization if you want. Or you can, if you are curious, you can select as you want in different block, of course. Of course, you can't have, you can, whatever, sorry. So it will be spread along the different timeline at the end of the year. And everything is free and independent. But because I see a question about Sarah, is it at least speaking about the 9 CTS, Sarah? I think if you refer here to the 9 CTS, this one, it's the 3 courses. Each one is 3 CTS. And the courses are all mandatory from Monday to Wednesday. So that means you validate 9 ECTS.
Yeah, I was referring to the ones even before, like the basic courses, because...
Yeah, so for the basic lesson, you have each course, it's easy. Each course is 3 CTS. Yeah. And you need to validate 27. Oh, okay. So it's totally up to you. You select 9 courses in this list as you want.
But is it like limited to 9, or if I have 4 more, can I just take them all, or how is it?
Oh, okay. So that's another point.
Yeah, like just Or even
Yeah,
if I saw myself, like for example, going into the Python programming and seem like, okay, I'm doing fine here. Can I change it just to know like which levels we're talking about?
Yeah, it's better. Maybe for this approach, we prefer that you register with, and you can register in 10, 11, or 12 courses if you want.
Okay.
And
nice.
but the thing is just have in mind that as I said, it's the master can be challenging, and in all the courses you have some assignments. So at some point, people are very ambitious at the beginning of the year, and they want, and it's good to be curious and to want to learn a lot of things. But at some point, after several months, it's difficult to do all the assignments.
Yeah. Okay.
So what you can do, it's either instead of registering in all the courses, you can select the 9 main one, the nine important courses you want, and you can, if you want, register as listener in other courses.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah, so you can adapt.
So we can just attend all the other courses, like other than the 9 courses, right? Like just a listener.
Yeah, you can be a listener. That means you do as you want. You can have access to the recording. You can do the assignment if you want or not. It's just as a listener.
But the obligatory are the 9 ones.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you have selected. Yes. Okay,
this is a very nice option. Thank you.
And of course, if you see at some point, very at the beginning of the year, that there is something very specific, and also something I mentioned, depending of the capstone you will do, maybe in November, you will discover that, oh, my capstone is about this topic and I need this course and I didn't select it. There is some kind of flexibility, of course. So we can always discuss case by case, specifically, according to your capstone and your track. Okay? Nice. So we are still a bit flexible. So don't, keep that in mind.
Great, thanks.
And so that's 27 ECTS here. So 9 courses at minimum. The 3 mandatory courses of core skills. And here you have to select 3 courses out of the 9. And the same thing, you can still be listener in others if you want. But this here, where you bring and you mix and you tie all what you have learned and all the skills and different weeks you have learned, you can bring them here in this kind of different practical applied courses at the end of the year. So now I want to discuss quickly briefly about the capstone, because
sorry, a quick question, but also the applied courses can be attended as a listener.
Yeah, I mean, you have to select at least 3 main applied courses. The main one, you have to select 3 main applied courses in the list, but you can, if you want, and if you are very ambitious, you can select other courses and be listener in the other courses.
That's perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So just to go back here, so we have seen a basic skill, which is a big block, 27 ECTS, 9 ECTS, 6 ECTS. So this is 2/3 of the master, and you need to validate all so depending on the teacher, and the validation depends on the teacher. It's at the discretion of the teacher. Sometimes it's assignments, a little quizzes, sometimes a little project, that depends. But it's 2/3. And the last third of ECTS, 18 ECTS, to validate the master, is the on-site and the capstone project mainly. So the capstone project, you will work as a team of 4 to 5 students, depending. Depending of the year also. And it is about a topic provided by a partner company, which basically we have different, of course, we have a list of different companies, and basically they have an issue, they have a problematic, and they want some students to work on this problematic. So they bring the problematic, the topic, they bring also a professional tutor, and we try to match a good team. So basically, at the start, when we register to the master, we ask you the sector you prefer, and we try to make a good team. So it's not always perfect, but we try to, that's why you have to select, you will have a list of possible capstone, and you have to order them, to rank them according to your preference. the first one, your best preference, the second one, the third one. And we try to do this match at the beginning of the year in November. So you have here some examples for the first cohort with the 6 different capstones. And you can see that at the end, there is an Antía Fernández here about mobility, next to Nomon. And here you have the list for the last year, 2024, with 8 different capstones. And this year, the current one, you can find it online. We have 4 or 5 different capstones, depending on the students. So it's very diverse, as you can see. I can go back here about railways, electricity transport. It was energy, it was about wind turbine, dams, structures, or about mobility. And Antía will share with us briefly about her capstone. Road tunnel, you see railway station, motorway. I mean, there are very different possibilities. And that's a good thing because it's very diverse, and depending on the cohort, we find a way to adapt. So the idea is I wanted Antía to share briefly with few slides. So I will stop. Arrêter partage, I think, yes. And you can just because it's very important, this capstone project, and thanks to the on-site events, are very the climax and very good aspect of cohesion, collaboration. So the master wouldn't work with only the online session with courses and all the blocks. So we need this capstone project. And Antía, so feel free to discuss about your...
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Mathieu. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we wanted to bring you an example of a capstone project that we developed during the first cohort of this 2023-24 year.
Yeah.
So this is just an example. I'll try to be brief because I know we are like a bit running out of time. Let me see if I can. Okay, these 2 phases, we are the co-authors of the master. So this is Pachi Cartelle, who was my colleague at the time, with whom I developed the masters. Basically, our project was called Eventful Madrid, and the idea I wanted to bring you the question, because every digital twin project should start with a question. Should start from the project, from the problem itself, right? So our question was, how can we harness AI, predictive models, to assess the impact of mass events in the cities, and how we can engage, how can we introduce all this data and insights within a digital twin? So first, the first question, what are the mass events, those over 20,000 people? And what is their impact in the city of Madrid? So the second question that we made is, when these events occurred, we analyzed data from January 2022 to May 2024, mapping over 650 events by type and attendance. The third question was where these events occur. We identified 13 major venues within the city, including stadiums, exhibition centers, and open spaces. And these events locations determine the district selection for analysis using mobility data from 12 of the city's 21 districts. So these are the 3 enablers of our project. First, we have the data from the Spanish Ministry of Transport, providing geolocated mobile network data. Secondly, we have the model, the temporal fusion transformer, which is a cutting-edge deep learning model. And thirdly, we have the framework that the Madrid digital twin ties it all together, integrating real-time with geographical data to simulate urban dynamics. So, objectives of the project. We had 3 main objectives. The first one is assess the impact of mass events on Madrid's mobility and develop an AI-based model for prediction. Second was to create a methodology to predict mobility using mobile network data. And thirdly, to develop a replicable framework that could be used for other cities. So what did we do? We processed over 4.45 terabytes of mobile network data of origin destination data over 2.5 years, and use it to visualize anomalies from mass events by observing the peaks, by searching online, and consolidating by searching all of this data online. Oh, sorry, that is maybe...
Of course, football match, of course.
Exactly. Football matches. There were a lot of football matches. We searched a lot online on what was going on. So we basically developed all these data sets with all the events over 2.5 years. So basically, we mapped daily district level mobility to identify the different patterns. So for example, Real Madrid matches in the Chamartín district boosted mobility by 80%. So we had all this data at the district level. We also mapped hourly trips from the event district to assess the geographic impact of the events. So for instance, a Manchester City versus Real Madrid match caused notable mobility peaks, not only in Madrid, but at a national level and coming from different countries as well. So what data did we use for forecasting mobility? We use previous mobility data, weather data from the past, calendar-related features such as the day of the week, month of the year, etc. Work calendar features for Madrid, including holidays and vacation periods, events info from both the past and the future, and the district as a static feature. These data were used to train a forecasting model based on a temporal fusion transformer, which is a model that has the following advantages. It is adaptable to different types of features. It is designed to deal with temporal patterns. It allows us to obtain multi-horizon forecasting in one single model, and it has explainability. The forecasting problem was framed as follows: for an input data window of K time steps, we obtain a mobility forecast of 15 days, let's say. So for obtaining the results, we use a global model trained with data from different districts of Madrid, and we also use local models trained with data from each individual district of Madrid. So this chart shows the 15-day forecast for the Chamartín district, where events take place at the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium. So I cannot. One sec, I lost my. Okay, here. So here we can see the predictions of the local model for concert and football events at the Santiago Bernabéu during the month of May, which you can see in orange, compared to the actual results, which were the blue results. So, and in this slide, we wanted to share all the predictions for different local models for the remaining district during the month of May, where you can see the comparison of the model prediction versus the reality of it. So we also develop a mass event impact application to analyze the impact of mass events on the mobility and forecast the impact of future mass events, such as the red one shown in the plot. So we could also compare the predicted impact intervals against the baseline mobility pattern in the absence of event. So this is a very quick overview of it on the capstone.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, I think it's perfect because it shows all the different steps, and we said you have a lot of data, historical data, you have some simulation, prediction, and also what I really like, it's you made the visualization in the end very clear. It's very nice with kind of dashboards and this kind of thing. So all these different tools you can learn during the master, but also this collaboration. So thanks again about that. So we had so let me just reshare my screen, and we had some questions. So let me just go back here. Yes. So first, Gael, to know if it's a good fit for a person who have a background in landscape architecture. But so Antía is an architect. So if you have an architect degree, it's perfect to enroll. Just the question is, you need, of course, to be curious about digitalization and to want to know more about a bit of coding, a bit of modeling, a bit of. So yeah, you can maybe add some your insight?
Yeah, I love that someone from landscape architecture is joining, because it's not very usual to see landscape digital twins, and I definitely think that is super
Actually,
important.
I'm a landscape architect as well.
Okay, so
we
there's
have
a
two.
cohort of landscape
With
architects.
Mehi.
Great.
I
Yeah.
love it.
I
Because
actually
you-
wanted to ask a couple of questions regarding this, but I was waiting when you finish.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask generally, since I'm in landscape, I finished my master's in Italy in architecture. Now I'm working as a BIM specialist and laser scanning, point clouds, etc.
Okay.
So how do you see this would be beneficial in your opinion for my scope, generally speaking?
So how the master, so how you will fit in the master, or if it's suitable profile, you mean? I haven't heard it perfectly.
Like, how do you think I finished already my master's? It was regarding urban planning and regeneration for cities, megalopolis. And now I'm working as a BIM specialist and also like using laser scanners and drone piloting in Relievo.
Yep.
So it would be interesting, in my opinion, like learning digital twin and how to monitor and collaborate all the data together. But I still don't know what are the tools we're going to be using. Like, I just wanted to know how would this be helpful in general for me in this case.
Yeah.
In your opinion.
I can go, Mathieu. I don't see your face.
Yeah, you can go if you want. I will add if I see.
Yeah,
if I have
perfect.
the idea.
Good. No, I love it. I mean, I think it's a very good. I think it's a very good background, the one you have. I mean, because you have the domain knowledge around urbanism, around landscape, around architecture, which is the basic knowledge that you need to have. You know the domain, you know the assets, you know the problems of the built environment and the natural environment, and then you have some basic detail skills around BIM, about point clouds, about scanning, which is the very foundations of the data capture, which I think is very useful. So you will be able, through the master, you'll be able to complement that knowledge around data capture, around BIM, with other knowledge around maybe more about data analytics, about AI, about IoT, etc., so that you can have a compelling digital twin proposal. So I think it's a very good profile. Anyone that has studied architecture, I think it's a very complementary training, so that you can work in very different types of work. And you could be doing urban digital twins, you could be doing a specific area, new developments, digital twins. I mean, digital twins could be used for different purposes, from planning, from construction, for operation and maintenance. So I think it's a very good fit. I mean, definitely. So I think the master would contribute a lot to complement.
And I think it can bring to you like a structure and a cohesion with all these different tools and digitalization. You have a common ground, and it's more structured and holistic view, because you can still, of course, by your side, if you're curious on weekend, you can do find some maybe courses or materials about Python or AI or whatever, and you can do it on your own if you want. But I think the master give you this big structure and this cohesion and this nice vision of everything. But also, as we have said a lot, the collaboration with you're not alone. Basically, you exchange. All the courses, they have their own WhatsApp group, and they exchange their ideas, questions, and they work together. And it brings it's a new dimension. It's not only about learning a new little tools, but it's also collaborating and bringing and tying all these different tools. And if you're curious about what the tools you can use, there are a lot of them, and we have different software, and you have access to a virtual machine. And I think you can find it on the website. Depending on the courses, we have access to a lot of different tools. And if you do the registration, you have access to the list of all the courses, and each course has a syllabus with a description of exactly what will be taught in this specific course. So you have access to all of that.
Thank you so much. Thank you really so much.
You're welcome. And just to add the point to Julian, as he said that digital twin technology is used to predict flood risk areas and the management and maintenance of urban parks. So I couldn't agree more. And as other aspect, last year we had a capstone with Surpass in Istanbul, and they use digital twin is not specifically for flood risk, but for earthquake risks. But it's the same idea. Thank you. So now we can go quickly. We have a question for Alvaro. It's mainly in design. Yeah, okay. Would limited data. It's not only on operation and maintenance. It can be also on design and conception. And as we said, if you would limited data management knowledge, no. I mean, you can have access to very, as Antía said, and you have access to. We start from very like basic level, and we try to bring all of you to the same level of understanding in each area. So I don't think it will be a disadvantage for Alvaro. Quickly, so about the registration, you can find all the details online. So you need at least a bachelor, and but a master is nothing specific. And if you have a bachelor, it's good. It's not compulsory, but it's good if you have at least 2-3 years of experience. You need to speak English, of course, and you need to attend, as we said, the online sessions and the workshop on site, even if we have some flexibility about attendance. I copied that pasted the tuition fees you can find online. That depends if you are self-funding or funded by your company. That depends on the learner. And the good news from tonight, and I confirmed this aspect today about the early bird fee. As you can see, it's cheaper if you register in advance, and the deadline, has been extended to end of June. It was end of May, but we have extended 1 month more. So it doesn't cost you anything, and it's easy to do to register online to the master. You have an application. You just give your degree and your ID and some admin papers. There is an admission committee, and we go back to you with the decision of admission committee. And if we think it's needed, or if you think it's needed, you can still ask for an interview with me and my colleagues at UPM, or that depends of the people. We are always happy to answer your questions. So that's about the tuition fees. And I think it was Mahi who had the question. You can ask specifically if you have in mind a timeline for the payment of the tuition fee. There is a booking registration fee you have to pay right now. I think I'm not sure about the price. I don't want to say a mistake. I think it's 2,000 euros. I think, and then you have to you can adapt depending of your situation. You can explain to us and to find when in different periodic payment if needed.
My question was because I guess that I read something like that on the website. Since I'm an international student, I'm from Egypt, basically.
Okay.
Since I also did my education in Italy, I don't know, but I read somewhere that there are like EU fundings, extra fundings, that I don't know if this is right or no. So that's what I wanted to ask about, like additional discounts.
Okay. Thank you. So I can introduce, thanks to, it's perfect timing, Rocio Lopez, my dear colleague at UPM, Madrid, even if she's not in Madrid right now. Thank you, Rocio, for joining. And so this is the face of Rocio, and you will see her a lot. So thank you for joining. And if you want to answer Mahi, please, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the point with the scholarships is that we are waiting for European Commission approval. So that's why we cannot offer any extra discount at this moment. And the point with these scholarships is that we have to meet the European Commission rules. And these scholarships will be offered for European citizens coming from countries that has signed the digital program in 2021. That's because these scholarships comes from an European project that was awarded in 2021, and we have to follow that. But we are still working on finding some funds for some non-European students, but we are still working on that, and we cannot offer at this moment. So we cannot ensure any extra discount, and neither the awarding of these scholarships once an applicant asks for them. So we have to.
So it's just for citizens, not even residents, since I'm resident in Italy.
No, we are not allowed to award the European funds for non-European citizens.
Non-European citizens. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very strict. The European Commission is very strict about that.
Yeah, we tried because we were negotiating with them, but it's due to the legal document that we signed at the moment of the project, and it's there is no way for residents in Europe. So, but that's why we are trying to find another funds for those non-European students. But we have to first to get the approval from the European Commission for the first scholarships, and then find for other fundings.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I think I saw a hand, but I don't see the hand anymore.
It was mine.
So, yeah, I mean, you have a question, Juliana?
I do. I have two. One of them was previously answered by Rocio.
Okay.
But the first one is about documentation that you need to attach to the requirement description. First, some universities that I applied for master, they provide a test or interview to evaluate the English level. Not that I have a problem with that, but because I need to apply for the test here in Brazil to take my TOEFL again because it expired. So I was just going to ask if you guys provide any kind of interview to evaluate
I mean, basically it's an
English
interview
level,
with me.
or it's just with the TOEFL certificate?
I mean, if you have the TOEFL, it's perfect. If you don't have it because it's expired, we can have an interview with Rocio and myself basically. But I think we can already check. I mean, it's not an official evaluation about your English level. But I mean, the point is, do you think you understand English well enough to follow some classes? That's all. I mean, we want you to understand the classes. So there is no point in lying, if you see what I mean. So I think what I heard about you, that you sound like to speak English very well. So I think for my side, there is no issue about the English level.
No, that's fine. I was just asking because I need to apply for the TOEFL test again, and so I would put that on my schedule. Another question about the ECTS score, just because I'm not very familiar with that. I am architect and urban planning here in Brazil, so we have another kind of grading
system
for the I was going to ask if I need to evaluate my degree, my Brazilian degree, by a company to send it, or I can only send my degree from Brazil, and then that's fine. You guys can evaluate the historical just by that.
We need that English. But Rocio will answer your question.
Yeah. For the first step, we require from you your degree, your diploma. You can send us, but it's mandatory for the universities to have the duly legalized document. So we'll ask you, it's not for at this moment, but we'll ask you before December of the end of this year, we'll require the apostille. If your university is the country of the university is within the European high education, I don't remember exactly the name, and if not, you have to ask for the legalization in the embassy. So if you are still in the country where you be awarded with the diploma, it's better to have this document legalized at this moment, because if you move afterward, it's more difficult to get the official stamp.
Okay,
But
Thank you.
at this moment, the registration, we can evaluate your CV, your
admission,
knowledge, with the diploma, and other. If you have a master degree or that, you can provide it.
Okay, perfect. And the last question, just to finalize it, I think I have the same. I had the same concern about it as the girl from Egypt. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. About the scholarships, because also I'm not a European citizen. I'll be living in Paris, but not European. So I would like to know if the government or the universities can provide any kind of scholarship. As Rocio answered, I think we don't have this answer yet. But I'd like to know if I paid the 2K fee to be scribed and everything, and I by any chance can find a scholarship to fund me, do I receive this money back or something like that? I don't know. It's just because for me it's like 6 times bigger the price, you know. I don't know if you guys understood my question. I'm sorry if it's confused.
Yeah, no. I understand that. For example, if you have to pay 80,000 euros and you have paid in advance 2,000 euros, and then you receive the funding for the full fee, will return you the 2,000 euros, of course, or unless you negotiate with your funding source, if they pay partial the remaining fee to us, and they pay you the 2,000 euros. It depends on you and the funding source.
Okay, I was asking just in case I didn't find any scholarship to fund me, you know. I paid for the 2K and then I don't find the scholarship to fund me, and then what do I do with the money that I lost, you know? But okay, I understood it. Thank you.
Yeah, but the reservation fee is not refundable unless we close
we don't open the master yet.
The course. The deal, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you so much.
Unless you receive this scholarship or this funding from other sources. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. No, it's important to ask all these questions now. Okay, so I mean, you can always find all this data on the website. So just to finish, because I think, but it's good then to have all these questions since it's not a big deal to be a bit late. Wanted to discuss about the new tracks we have created in parallel of the executive master. So as you can see, diploma of specialization from March to September, 30 ECTS, and the expert degree, 15 ECTS. So these two new tracks, they are not a master degree, of course, so it's not a joint diploma. It will be a joint certificate in the end, so it's not the same level of power in the end, of course. It's not at least official, it's just a certificate from the university. But we have created these new tracks to be more flexible because, as you can see, the master can be quite challenging for people working during 1 year. So we focused on these two new tracks in parallel of the master, because you will have for the diploma of specialization and expert degree some mutual courses with the learners of the masters. So some courses are specific for the new tracks, but a good majority of them are also mutualized with the executive masters, which is a good also aspect to for networking and collaboration. So flexible pathway without enrolling in a full master's. So the first one is a diploma of specialization, medium track, let's say, of 30 ECTS during 7 months. So this one is online for some of the courses, and we'll have the detail after that, and also in person for the on-site event. And in parallel, we have the expert degree, which is a short one of 15 ECTS, which is a short period of time at the end of this year, and only online because it's only some courses online. The first one, the diploma, is for people who already have a good background in IT technologies and they want to apply it in real-world applications. thanks to the specialization of the master, and also thanks to the capstone project, because this one is half of courses and half of capstone project. The expert degree of 15 EUCTS is 5 courses, independent, and there is no capstone project, there is no on-site event. So the first one, diploma, during 7 months, from March to September 27th. You can see the program structures with what we call core modules. So these are mandatory courses. These 3 courses, network design, knowledge and implementation, and digital twin design validation, which is a new specific course design only for this diploma specialization. You have a specialization track. You can select as the same specialization tracks as the masters with 6 ECTS and 3 courses to select in mobility, water, and construction, and the capstone project like the masters. So this is exactly so these new structures, and you can see that it's more focused on applied courses and less on the basic skills we have seen for the master. The outcome is to create a digital twin project applicable for your professional field. So depending on your background and if you are specialization you prefer, you can adapt the track. So this is for the diploma. And for the expert degree, starting at the end of the year, so this year, September to December 26, only 15 ECTS, only online, because contrary and there is no in-person event, it's only online. And you have these 5 courses, so very technical about IT courses and about BIM, coding and IoT and big data. And it's for people really who can't engage in a full year master, but people who are curious and they want to learn a bit more about all these different bricks. But even with a specific course about digital twins and industry, it's not, of course, deep enough as a master to gather and have this holistic view. It's not, of course, it's not the same challenge. It's less challenging because it's only during 2 months and a half. So these 2 new tracks, we created them, as I said, and to be more flexible and to adapt depending on your background. So feel free to check online for the registration, and if you are more curious about the short one, the medium one, or the flagship, which is the real master degree. And just to mention, in parallel, if you are curious during summer or in weekend or whatever, we are opening since last month and periodically, time to time, new MOOCs on our different platform. So you have to not all of them are available right now. We have a MOOC already available of digital twins, the first one on the UPM platform in Madrid. You can find in our website of Digital Twin Project or the link to register and try to do this MOOC if you want. And on the Bucharest platform, we will be opening periodically new MOOCs, more technical about GPG, programming, electronics, etc., etc. So this is in addition, it's totally free. You can go online and access them. They are mainly in English, but some of them will be Spanish, French subtitles, or French text and material, seems from Hungarian and Romanian. And for the first one, Digital Twins, you can use YouTube player to add any subtitles you want, which is perfect for like localization and globalization. So check them out. There are, the first one is available already, and you have to access, and you will see during the different following weeks. And you can follow us on LinkedIn to follow when we open this kind of new MOOCs. And just to finish, because it's a bit late, but just to see that we have a different partnership with different companies. We have Arup in big red centers, as you can see. And we have different aspects, and we have a railway, we have buildings, we have also Dassault system with editors of softwares. So we have different, very diverse background even with the partnerships of the company, which is very an important aspect for us. And more to come. And even maybe, I don't know, maybe if you, according to your background in your company, maybe your company is ambitious and want to develop this aspect, strategic aspects within the company, and maybe you can contact your in your hierarchy in your company. Maybe they would want to collaborate and provide capstone project, for instance. It could be a possibility if you are funded by your company. Discuss with your colleagues, different levels of hierarchy, and maybe we can have your company as a new partner, and we will be delighted to add more companies in the list. Thank you all, because that's the last slide, and of course we still have time for all the questions you want. And Antía, I don't know if you want to add anything, Rocio or anyone. Feel free to jump in the chat in discussion to add anything you want. No, I think I was perfectly clear, I guess. But thank you. Maybe a last word, Antía? Come on.
Juliana went first.
What did you say? Sorry?
No, that Juliana went first. She raised her hand, which I think
I didn't see the hand. Okay, go on.
Was real quick. Sorry, the last one. The same question that Gael made about landscape architecture, but applied to the other course, the March to September one. I forgot it's a specialization. I forgot the name of the course.
Let me go back here.
Diploma of Specialization in Digital Twins, this one. So I have the same question as Gael because I work at the same area, but applied to this course. Like, how can I accommodate my skills in this program once that I work with landscape architecture?
It's the thing which can be tricky with this track. It is designed for people who already, I don't know, maybe you have, but who already have a background with all the IT bricks. Basically, you need to be not to master, but to be aware of BIM, Python, IoT. You need to already know how to code. You need a bit of all this. You need all this background because it is for people already skilled in digitalization. So not mainly expert, of course, but you have already some backgrounds and you want to apply them in a specialization. So that depends on your background.
I already have a specialization here in Brazil in BIM management and BIM modeling. So I'm a BIM specialist. I work with digitalization of point clouds for cities, and I am very familiar with Python and other coding
so
languages.
That's up to you. I mean, it's just we don't want you to be frustrated because if you enroll that and you don't understand.
First, you have a background, yes, to be familiar with the subject.
It's up to you. You can register and send your documents and your degrees, and we will assess, thanks to that, if it's a good match or if we think it's not the main aspect.
It's better to choose another option. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If I may add something, maybe if you want to apply for this program, and you can check the courses that we offer in the master, you can check them in the website. Maybe you can indicate in your application, or you can write a letter, I am an expert in this and the list of courses that you think that you are an expert, and it's easier for the admission committee to validate your skills on all of them.
Cool. Yeah. Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any last question? I mean, it's just no big deal. If you have questions in the future, we are always available online, by emails. You can find all the data on our website. This webinar is registered, and so there is no issue. But thank you all for attending the webinar. Thanks for my wonderful co-host, Antía.
Thank you, Mathieu. It's a pleasure.
Really appreciate it. It was a pleasure to do this webinar. Thanks again also for Rocio to connect even with its busy week, I know, for you. and thanks to all the attendants. And also some teacher, I see Manuel is still connected, teacher in the master. And hope to see you. Alvaro, you have raised your hand.
Yes. Hi. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, perfectly.
Yes. I heard that the program you need to join a group for 4 people to
For the capstone.
Yeah, for the capstone, right? And there is some requirements of your team. I mean, if I get a team that, oh, you work in this area and we need to get with an idea to present in the master's final evaluation, we need to, the 4 of us, we need to present the our capstone.
The capstone. So you do it.
This is presential. This is in the
Yeah. Sorry, let me go back. Maybe it was not clear, but I prefer here. So the capstone, you do it along the year with your teammates. So maybe like 4 or 5 people. That depends of the team and the project. So that means you have to work. I mean, to organize yourself as you want. Thanks, you have also the tutors. You have an academic tutors and a professional tutors or mentors. They help you to work on the project. And you do that along the year. So that means mainly you will do some periodic meeting online. This is a classic workload. But what is important is for the on-site events. So for the first on-site event, you meet with your teammates. The second on-site, but you can still work and give a push on your capstone physically because you are face-to-face. And the last on-site event in September, if you see my screen, it will be in one of the 3 cities, and it will be the defense. So an oral presentation physically in front of us during the on-site events, just before also the graduation ceremony. We take advantage of the last on-site event also to do the graduation ceremony. So the capstone is along the way, it's mainly online session and online meetings with your teammates. But thanks to the on-site events, you can still work on the capstone project physically face-to-face. And you have to defend it with an oral presentation at the end of the year. Is it clear?
Okay, and what month that the tutor told us that you are ready to present the capstone project? You
have to be ready for the last on-site event.
Okay.
It's not. I mean, all the capstone will be defended at the same time on the on-site. So there is no specific calendar for each capstone. All of them will be defended in September during the last on-site event.
Oh, okay. And it's mandatory that all of the group need to defend the capstone project.
It's because we bring all of you to the same city. So it's to take advantage of that for the defense of the capstone.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Sarah, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a very quick one. Regarding the programs like GIS and stuff like that, Mac or Windows?
That depends on the teachers, and if you don't have the specific computer, you have access to a virtual machine, and you can do all. I mean, you have access to a virtual machine with all the softwares and all the license.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
So it's independent of your computer.
Okay, nice. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. Yes. Is there? No. I think Sarah was the last question. So I think if there is no more questions, thanks again for all of you. It was a bit longer than expected, but nicer than expected. So it's perfect. Thanks all of you. Thanks again, Antía, Rocio, and all the team.
Thank you very much.
And all the team, the back office, as we say, of UPM in Caminos in Madrid, who helped organize this webinar and all the IT issues behind. And hope to see you, all your face and first in September, and face-to-face physically during the first event. Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.